Good day, this is the second part of our video about the domain and range of a relation. Okay, so as you have noticed on the first part of the video I have sent to you yesterday, we have the domain and range of set of ordered pairs, table, and mapping diagram. Okay, so this day or this video will focus on graph of relation. Okay, so let's have first a recall, of course, of how you are going to determine if the given set of relation is a function or not function. So again, determine if the given graph is a function or not function. I recall also the use of vertical line test, wherein if the vertical line touches once, therefore it is a function. If the vertical line touches the graph twice at the same time, so therefore it is not a function. Okay, so let's proceed. So let's have this one, this graph. Is it a function or not function? That's correct. This is not a function. Okay, next. How about this one? Is this a function or not function? Correct. It is a function. Okay, next. How about this one? Function or not function? That's correct. That is function. Okay? Okay, so let's now have this domain and range if you are given the graph. Okay, so on the first part of the video, I have already said that the domain is the set of all x values, while the range is the set of all y values. Okay, so given this graph, so I hope it is clear. Okay, I hope you can visualize the graph clearly. Okay, so we have here 5 points given. Okay, if you are going to determine the ordered pairs here, okay, so you can simply determine the domain and range, of course. Okay, so by simply naming the points given, the 5 points given, so you can now determine the domain and range of our graph. Okay, so let us have the domain. So as you have seen, okay, so we are going to have our domain as -3. Okay, so as you have seen, we have here the values of x for -3. We have here -2. We have here 1, then 2, and 3, because those are the values of x. Okay, while the range will be, okay, so we have here -2 from this point. We have here 0 from these 2 points and 2 in this 2 points. Okay? So I hope it is clear. Is there any question? So just simply look for the ordered pair. Okay? So that you can also give the domain and the range. Okay? Next, let's have this. Determine the domain and range of the given graph. Okay? So in number 1, so you will simply look for the values of x's here, okay? Wherein it is easier if you will write the domain and range in increasing order if you are given the graph, okay? So you will not make a mistake on how you are going to give the domain and range, or you will not forget some point or points in the given graph. Okay? So our domain, of course, you are going to look first for the values of x here. Okay? And then followed by the values of y here. Okay? So for our domain, I hope you can give it or you can give them. Okay? So correct. So our domain will be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And for our range, we have the values of y will be -2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Did you get it? Okay, so I hope you got it. So let's proceed with number 2. Okay, so our domain will be, okay, so since we have here the list, so let's just start with this. So our domain will be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And for our range, so let's just start from the bottom as it represents the list value of y. So we have here -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 as our range. Any question? Okay, next, let's have number 3. So let's start from this as the list. So we have, okay, correct. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. How about the range? Okay, so as you have seen, our range is only 1. Okay, next. Number 4. Okay, so the graph is circular. So there are no given points, but still, you can see that this touches a number, this touches a number, also this one, and also this one. Okay, so again, in domain, start with the list. Okay, with the list x value. So we have our domain will be, okay, correct, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And our domain, or our range rather, our range will be, correct, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, is there any question about the graph giving the domain and range? Okay, so if you don't have, so let's proceed. Okay, how about this one? What will be your domain? Again, start from the list. So you have to start here. Okay, so our domain will be negative 7, okay, followed by 1, followed by 5, then 7, then 8, and 10. Then our range will be, or the values of y will be, okay, so we will start here again, the list value of y. So we have negative 7, then 0, then 2 or 1, and then 2, 5, and 8 here. Okay, question? Okay, so let's proceed with this. Scattered graph also. So we have our domain will be, okay, correct, negative 7, negative 5, negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3, 5, 7. While the range will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. Any question? Okay. How about this one? So this is not scattered. Okay. So we already have again a line, but it is a curved line, not a straight line. Okay. So what will be our domain here? Okay, correct. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? So as you have seen, this is our x. Okay? And then, this touches 0. And then, we have here 4. So therefore, since it flows, it runs from 0 to 4. So that's why we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as our domain. Okay? I hope you get it. Okay, so let's now have the range. Okay, so our range, of course, will be this one from 0 to 7. But you have to take note of where it lies or touches. Okay, so as you have seen from the graph, so it touches 1. Okay, correct. Then 2, 3, 4 until 5. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 until 5. Okay, so that's why that is the range. Okay, question? Okay. We may also express our domain as inequality. Since we're done with inequality 2 weeks ago, so we have, or we can express the domain as x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 4. Why? As I have said earlier, in our x-axis, okay, it touches 0 here. Okay? So it means 0, 5. So it means your x value starts with 0 and ends with 4. So that's why your x is greater than 0 but less than 4. So you may say, why am I reading this as greater than or equal? Because I told you first about x. Okay, so that's why it will be read as x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 4. Again, because of the word but here. But less than or equal to 4. Okay? And then our range can also be expressed in inequality. So since it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you may express this as y is greater than or equal to 1 but less than or equal to 5. So therefore, your range will be from 1 to 5. Okay? Just like the domain from 0 to 4. Okay. Any question? So let's proceed with this one. Okay? So you can observe here our circle is open. Okay? So we have here the so-called open circle. As I have told you on the previous video about the function, not function. Okay? So when I told you that when it is an open circle, it is not included in your solution. Okay? So therefore, if you are going to give the domain of this, you will not include negative 2 as the value of your x. Okay? So therefore, you may start with negative 1. Okay? So you will have negative 1, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And later, we are going to express that also as inequality. Okay? So let's now have first the range. Okay? So again, the range will not include the point in the open circle. So our range will be from negative 4, then negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0 until 1 only. Okay? So you will not include positive 2. Okay? So how are we going to express this as inequality? So we will have x is greater than negative 2 but less than or equal to 6. Why do I say so? You can only have here this symbol because of the open circle. So that's why your x is greater than negative 2. So it is from negative 1 but less than or equal to 6. So or equal to 6 because 6 is also included. Okay? Next, we have the range can be expressed as a. So this time, we have y is greater than or equal to negative 4 but less than 2 because, again, you will not include this point in the open circle. Okay, question? Okay, next. How about this one? Okay, so as you have seen, we have the closed circle or the blackened circle. So how are we going to have the domain and range of this? So correct, we have, okay, we're going to express. So let us just focus now on how we are going to express the domain and range using inequalities. Okay, since we're done with that lesson. Okay, so we have here x. Okay, so look for the least value of your x here and the greatest value of your x here. So it is from, so negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So from negative 3 until, so we have here positive 1, positive 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So it is until 2 only. So that's why our domain again will be x is greater than or equal to negative 3 but less than or equal to 2. Okay, so let's now have our range. Okay, so observe. So our range will be 1, 2, 3, 4 until 5 here. Okay, so negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. But since we do not have any point below the x-axis or the negative y, so we will just have to start from this. Okay, so since it is a closed circle or blackened circle, so you are going to use the inequality symbol with or equal. Okay, so therefore you will have your range will be x is greater than or equal to 1 but less than or equal to 5 here. Okay, question? Okay, next, how about this one, your domain? So your x starts with, okay, so again, let's have these numbers. Then we have here positive 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Positive 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 is already here. Okay, so what will be your domain? Again, so it starts with negative 3 until 5. So that's why your x is greater than or equal to negative 3 but less than or equal to 5. Okay? Then our range starts with the least negative 3 and the largest is positive 3. So we have here your y is greater than or equal to negative 3 but less than or equal to 3. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay, how about this one? Two separate graphs. Okay, how are you going to tell the domain and range of this? Okay, so in domain, since we have two separate graphs in from to the left and to the right, so we will have x is greater than or equal to -1, or x is greater than 3. So again, to correct, we have x is less than or equal to -1. Again, x is less than or equal to -1 because this represents that inequality. Okay? So we have here -1 here. So less than or equal. So it means -2 onwards because of the arrowhead. Okay? So on the previous graph that I have shown to you, you only have their blackened or closed circle. So that's why it just ends with 5. Okay? So this time, we have endless numbers here. Okay? So in this graph on the right side, so we have here +1, 2, 3. So it starts with the +3. So that's why x is greater than or equal to 3. Again, there is no limit because of these arrowheads. Okay? So it means you can adjust them. Okay? You can extend that. Okay? Any question? If you don't have, how about our range? Okay. So our range will be, okay, correct, any element of real numbers. Why? Again, so since our y here is negative something because we have here arrowheads, and also on the upper side or upper part, so we have here endless. Okay, you can extend this. So that's why your range will be any element of real numbers. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Okay, is there any question? Okay, so if you have your question, do not be ashamed of having a message for me through Messenger. Okay, how about this one? Again, we do not have any arrowheads. So you have here just a blackened or closed circle. So what will be our x here? Okay, so we have here, correct, x starts with 0 and ends with 4. So that's why x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 4. Okay? And our y starts with this and ends with this. So from least to greatest. So we have domain or the range will be y is greater than or equal to -2 but less than or equal to 2. Okay? Question? Okay, let's have this one. What is our domain here? Correct. So our domain here is any element of real numbers because of the arrowheads here. Okay, so it means you can extend any values of x. How about the range? Correct. So range is only 3. Okay, correct. Okay, any question? Okay, how about this one? Again, your x starts with this. What number is this and what number is this? Correct. Your x is greater than or equal to -2 but less than or equal to 4. Correct. And our range will start, okay, will start here and ends here. So we have your y is greater than or equal to -5 but less than or equal to 1. Okay, question? Okay, so that's all for this day. Thank you.